Welcome back to Cityline Real on menopause. Now, we need to get real about all of the changes that can happen during this time, including in our intimate lives. So here to do just that and help us embrace our sexuality at every stage is Carlyle Jansen. So good to have you here.
It's a pleasure.
I love that we're talking about this. So I want to talk about some of the positive sexual changes that women can experience at this time in our lives.
Yeah, things are changing, and change can be good. For a lot of people, the kids are older, they might be out of the house, you might be starting a new relationship, there's that exciting energy, or you've decided, you know what, I want to reinvent life, I want to have more for me and more play. And so sex sometimes is a fun way to think outside the box, right?
Yeah.
It's not just, missionary on Saturday night, it's like, let's explore, let's do things differently. My body doesn't work. I can't, stand up while we're having sex now in different ways. So let's
shower sex. Am I right?
Yeah, shower sex.
Whenever you see that in movies, it's like, oh my God, everybody must be so tired. What if someone slips? Oh my gosh, can they really hold her? Is this okay? Is anyone enjoying this? You can decide sort of what you want to do and the things that feel right.
Yeah. And that then makes it more fun and makes you more want to do it.
Totally. And that's the point. If you want to do it, you want to make sure that you actually want to do it, right?
Yeah.
We had a question in our audience that we thought this would be a good place for them to ask it. So Sandra, what did you want to ask Carlyle?
So I wanted to ask about loss of libido and what can we do to prevent loss of libido? And if we do have loss of libido, how do we get it back again?
I love this question, and we hear about that all the time, in this stage in our life. So let's deal with that as well as, any other tips to help women be a little bit more intimate.
So libido is something that really will vary throughout life. I mean, lots of people have challenges after they have kids or when they have depression or different things in life. So when it comes to menopause, some people experience higher libido because I'm not getting pregnant anymore or, things are a little easier. But for lots of people, the lower libido kicks in. And again, it's about, okay, what is it that I want to do? And maybe it's not thinking, do I want to have sex right now? Because sometimes that's just like, whoa, that's too big a leap. Do I want to connect? Do I want to feel close to my partner? And so if we start with that, start with maybe having a shower together or lying naked on the bed and you just stroke my back from head to toe, or maybe we just kiss, we make out, we stop making out.
Make out. Make out sessions were fun in high school. Do that again.
Exactly. And as that happens, what happens for a lot of us is we have responsive desire. So rather than feeling horny all the time, we respond to the arousal. So you're kissing, you're like, oh, this feels really nice. Maybe you want a little more down here. Oh, that feels really good. Now I want more. So finding ways that you can get yourself in the mood, finding ways that feel nice, to feel close, to connect, and making sure that sex feels good to you. Right? If it doesn't feel good to you, you're not going to want to do it. So, hey, wait a second, I really enjoy more of this kind of focus. Maybe I don't want penetration so much, or I don't want so much focus on my vagina. Can we have more full body touch? What's going to make you want it more will boost your libido because you're having pleasure.
You get to make the rules, whatever the rule is for you, you get to make that rule. And I love that we have a whole generation growing up taking that emphasis off penetration. Because that was the whole thing, right? It was always about penetration, penetration, penetration. Well, maybe that's not what you're looking for in this era of your life. Maybe you want a little bit more than that.
Well, and if your partner has a penis, sometimes as they get older too, some of that focus away from that takes the pressure off of them because erections don't happen as easily as they used to. And this is where sex toys come in for both partners.
Right, and you can experiment with all of that stuff as well. I think that conversation, I remember being younger and hearing even the conversations between my aunts and uncles and them saying, intimacy does not always equal sex. And the confusion in my uncle's lab, like, what? What do you mean? There are other ways to be intimate.
Absolutely.
I've had to have this conversation many times with my husband. There are other ways to be intimate. It doesn't always have to be sex. Sex is great too, but there's, the lead up to it.
Well, and I think having some of that in between, right, keeps the fires going, right? Whether it's not just 0 or 100, right? That we have those gradations helps to keep that libido a little bit on the radar and a little bit higher.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Okay, your advice for people worried about physical changes in their body. and feeling sexy during menopause, because sex is a lot in our heads as well. And if you're starting to feel like, but my boobs don't look like they did when I was 25, you know, what can we do about that?
Yeah. So a lot of sexiness, like you said, is in the head, and a lot of it's about how we carry ourselves and how we feel about ourselves, what we feel we deserve. And so look around you, right? In media, we don't see a lot of positive images of people who are aging and around sex, but look around you on the street. There's lots of people who are in love, who are cuddling, who are holding hands. And so we can embrace that and realize that I can have that too, right? And ask your partner, like, what do you find sexy about me? Right? And make sure you get that feedback from them, and really you can enhance that and like, oh, wow. Because your partner's getting older too.
Totally.
Right?
We're all in this together. We're on the same trajectory, right?
We don't all look the same way as we used to. And so embrace how your body is now and how it feels, right? And exude that.
We have to talk about safe sex.
Yes.
Which I thought, as I was reading the questions, what? Safe sex? I got to worry about that right now? Let's talk about during menopause, a few extra things to consider if women have multiple partners, of course.
Right. So one of the things that happens is that the vagina is drier. And it's not as elastic, which impacts all of us. But a lot of people think, well, you know, I can't get pregnant anymore, so I don't need to worry about safer sex, or I haven't done this in 30 years. What do I do? But the reality is that we're very susceptible to sexually transmitted infections, so we need to take precautions. If we have a new partner, if we have multiple partners, we can get tested, we can learn how to use condoms, or maybe again, like maybe penetration is one way of reducing the riskiness, right? And harm reduction in terms of maybe we want to do other things that feel more pleasurable. Sex toys are a great way to enhance our sex lives. And sometimes orgasms are harder also as we get older. So sex toys can help us get there.
Just joking. You can do what you need to do, because everyone has the right to an orgasm, okay? That's my motto. Carlyle, thank you so much for like the sex positivity and for the tips.